What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Let Loose podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Gym Leader Challenge in the Pokemon TCG. I am your host, Jeff Beisch, and we're joined with returner, our very first co-host from way back in the day. I think we're on episode like 13, 14 right now. Episode 1, all the way a callback. We got Batsquid. Batsquid, what's up, my man?
What's up? Glad to be back here. Just real quick, too, dude. Everyone, like, if you're listening, watching on YouTube, round of applause to our boy Jeff, man. He said that he wanted to make a podcast based off GLC, and he went out and did it, right? Like, we said 13 episodes.
Yeah,
like
we're there.
Consistent, bro. Consistent. You're getting all the community involved, all that stuff, man. So I'm proud of you. I know everyone else is proud of you, bro. So congratulations to you on this. I told y'all when I was the first one, right? I said, bro, it's gonna go uphill from here, and I wasn't lying, dude. Every episode was better and better and better. And now we circled our way back to me, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, dude. Awesome. Thank you for those kind words. You know, it takes that encouragement sometimes to keep the grind that is content creation, and especially when it comes to Gym Leader Challenge content creation, which is kind of the topic that we're going to talk about tonight, because, man, for all of us people out there trying to make content for people to watch, we keep getting thrown curveballs, man. It just feels like we can't catch a break. It's hard to produce good GLC content. It's already hard enough to produce content in general. But man, here we are, Batsquid, doing the good work. Andrew Mahone out there doing all the good stuff too. Just kind of falling behind in his footsteps. But you know, content creation, dude.
We're doing the thing, bro. They say, they always say when it's about content, like it's lonely, right? Like content creation is lonely because not a lot of people understand like what you're doing, right? Like people in your real life don't really get what you're doing. But we're lucky that we met each other through it, and we have a whole bunch of community that back us up. I know I got people at the shop who support the content creating, so it's nice. It's nice to have that. And yeah, man, I'm ready to talk about this for people who might be interested in getting into it themselves, or maybe they're like, yo, I'm starving for some GLC stuff. Where can I find it? So yes, let's go.
Yeah, let's get into it. So obviously you and I have both been doing content creation for a while now. I think that I just got my anniversary for becoming an affiliate on Twitch. I think I got like that email the other day. So it's been a while since I started now. And like you mentioned, every time we try to get a little bit better. But, content creation, I never saw myself doing it. Batsquid, what about you?
Nah, same, dude. I was going to ask you, how did you even, okay, so it's been a year?
It's been, I think, 2 years. Maybe a year and a half. A year and a half, I think.
Okay, so I think we actually start, which is crazy. We start, September is going to be 2 years for me on Twitch. Mm-hmm. And then August is going to be a year that I posted the first YouTube video I did. So we're like right there at the same starting point then.
Yeah. But it's weird because like most people got into content creation, I feel like right as COVID was hitting, obviously there was like a webcam shortage and all these other certain things that maybe played a little bit into it. But I feel like you and I kind of came on that tail end, like, the end of 2022. That's kind of when, most of those people who had started were quitting. But, here we are. So
what made you want to do it?
Yeah. So obviously 2020 to 2021 was a tough time for teachers, but it was also a time for like teachers to like kind of figure out how to teach online. And if you can teach online, you can start doing content creation. And basically my school system that I was working with at the time kind of provided me with everything I needed. They were like, here's a webcam, here's some headphones, like here's all the stuff you kind of need. So I was like, well, hey, I've got a new PC. I'm getting into Gym Leader Challenge. Let's see what we can kind of do with this and go from there. And my first ever stream was actually Elden Ring. One of my buddies was like, that game is tough. Like you're going to be terrible at it. I want you to stream your first time doing it so we can all laugh and chuckle at you just being terrible. So yeah, first stream was an Elden Ring one. And then, I was getting into Gym Leader Challenge and we had no community here. And I was like, hey, what's, how can we build a community? So like we had like a local Discord and I was like, hey guys, I'm going to go on Twitch and play this new format I'm interested in. Anyone and have any ideas or want to do it? And so I just started kind of streaming to my community, kind of hoping that would like incite some people to come and join us and play. And then from there, it was just like, hey, copy and paste, load it up into YouTube and go from there. No editing at the time because we had PTCGO. We had an online client and it was just super easy. And then, of course, I think I started it was like December 25th, I think, or like around like right after Christmas is when I started my YouTube channel. And so then like I had like 3 or 4 months, and then they were like, "Yep, goodbye, PTCGO."
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, I'm not really invested in anything so far. Like I haven't really done a whole bunch. I'm still using my school's, webcam. Like I haven't done anything. Like I could just walk away and this would be fine and no one would care and no one would be too sad because let's be honest, none of my videos were getting any views, but took a second, thought about what content would look like from there. Reached out to Weeder, and he and I started doing webcam streams, and that's really when I started getting really, really involved in the Cardboard Warriors community and like got to meet everyone. So kind of like through all of this, like, obstacles that Pokemon Company was throwing at us with the changing client, I got to meet like an awesome community and get involved and then switch to tabletop streams and learn how to edit and kind of invest in myself as a person. That's kind of what I see content creation as. It's like I'm investing all these new skills into myself. Like, sure, it can be fun sometimes, but I'm really working on myself as a person and trying to figure out like what I can do to make things good. And so, that's where I'm at today. Like, is my stuff perfect? No, I'm not Mahone level yet. That's like the pinnacle, the peak. I want to get there one day, maybe. I'm Ash and he's my Gary. Maybe is how we need to go about that. But I'm gonna make it to Mount Silver, and we're gonna beat Red and his level 88 Pikachu. We're gonna do it. So that's where I'm kind of at with it. Having a lot of fun getting to meet you. Do this podcast, meeting all the people. It's been great. So, that's my content creation journey, having people come to my house and stream Pokemon with me while my chinchilla hangs out in the background. It's just great, dude. It can be stressful. Like it can feel like a job sometimes. Like scheduling these podcasts is probably one of my least favorite things to do. Like I love reaching out to people and getting them involved, but being like, oh, another week, another podcast. You can feel the grind sometimes. And sometimes you got to keep yourself motivated. Lots of coffee, lots of chocolate, lots of pizza.
Exactly, but that's why I said congrats, bro, because it's not just motivation too, right? Because motivation's fleeting. I try to tell people that all the time, right? It's like action comes before motivation. So you was motivated to do it, but it's really the discipline that kept you going. Because like it is stressful. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to like organize something before, especially for like 13 times you said you did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I get that, man. So congrats to you, bro. And yeah, that's awesome. I kind of was similar with like I just had the equipment, so I was like, dude, I might as well like start using it, right? Like for me, like I bought this laptop because I was playing Call of Duty, and this laptop was expensive, man. So I was like, bro, ain't no way I'm $1,000 on just playing Call of Duty. Like I better do something, right? So like I like looked into like streaming because I never watched Twitch or streamed or anything like that beforehand. I was like, shoot, let me just throw my hat in there, right? And I was like, okay, all right. And I went back and watched the first stream I did. I was like, I suck. And I'm kind of like you, like I want to get better. Like I'm gonna have to get back. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So like every stream was like focusing, like, okay, this I did bad on audio this time. Let me fix the audio. All right, next stream, okay, camera quality was terrible. Let me fix that. Dang, the audio is bad again. Okay, now I got that settled down. Now I gotta be entertaining. Now I gotta do this. Now I have to have an idea. So that's how I started like streaming. And then it was like you similar, like, okay, I'm already streaming. I might as well just like double dip and just throw stuff on YouTube, right? So like at first it was like Smash Brothers clips and just like unedited, like you said, unedited stuff. And then it wasn't until because I told you, I told the story the first time I was here. I tore my leg up, wasn't competing in any like sports or powerlifting. So like that's when I got really into Pokemon, and I missed Go. I'd never played Pokemon Go or the TCG. Was it Go?
PTCGO. So
that one.
Yeah.
That one. So I never got to play that one. I went straight into live, and then started trying to do like live videos. And oh my, I think they're still up. The videos are terrible. They're terrible, but I leave them up because I want people to see like, okay, he's getting better as time. Like every video, like the goal is to like get better, right? And then quick too, the first time I was here, we said that we met in a Cardboard Warriors, a Discord server. We actually met because I found your YouTube. It was those PTCGO videos that I found, bro. Yeah, and I would comment on your things because I was like looking for gym leader stuff, right? Like all about that base. Here's this deck does that, this deck does that. And I would watch your videos and I would comment on them. And that's how we got to know each other. Then we followed each other on Twitter, and then we got to know each other on the server. So we met through content creation, like straight up, just like randomly like that. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I'm meeting tons of people these days too. You know, like I don't really know. We're going to talk about him later on. Ben Morse super well, but like he recommended me to like do another podcast at some point, and then like he started doing videos, and I was just like, well, this Ben Morse dude is pretty chill. So still haven't had a chance to talk to him. We might have to get him on at some point, but just meeting people and all these kind of like interactions you think are kind of fleeting that kind of like come back and like kind of like really really pay off dividends later on is really cool. Content creation is its own community. It's funny. Like, there's a gym leader challenge community that is great, and I love it. And then within that, there's a smaller niche of like, people trying to organize events or people trying to make content. And it's like we all have like our niche within a niche, and here we are, the GLC content creators.
It is easy for us to get along because we already have something in common, right? Okay, yeah, we like Pokemon, we like GLC, and we're content creating, so like we already have a lot in common. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like it's easier to make friends and stuff. So um, just like quick question for you: you're doing tabletop stuff,
Mhm.
you're doing your podcast. Is there anything else as far as like content creation videos that you are interested in making?
Yeah, so I really wanted to do like a Brewers League. It was something that's pretty close to my heart here. We have new sets coming out like every month or two, and there's no online tournaments or people can't really like hop on an early test on a client because we don't have that yet. So how can we get like cool new brews out to people without like sitting down and writing an article for like 2 hours? Because like if you think about like what it takes to write an article, it's like, well, first I have to do the testing, and then I have to decide what my deck is going to be, and then I have to write a deck about why I chose these particular cards, what they were like in matchup. There's a lot of work that goes into writing articles, where if you can just like throw together a deck list and like get on a client or play against someone, you can like make content and talk about like your thoughts while you're playing the matchup or what card would be better here. It's just so much easier, so much more accessible. And it's just something that we've really, really, really lacked. It's just like, like the process of like someone on screen changing the cards in a deck and being like, let's try this, let's try that. And so, I think I reached out to you, I reached out to Weeder. It didn't end up happening for this last set about having just like a Brewers League, because there were some really cool cards in Shrouded Fable that I was like, oh, I want to build around these. But that's something I could see doing, like, I don't know, like an All About That Base Brewers League tournament season where like everyone gets like a card and you just throw it together and we play a quick little round robin tournament about it. But yeah, it might be a pipe dream, but that's something to think about down the road.
I like that idea. I know you mentioned it. I was waiting for you to say something. I'm down. I know I'm down. Z-Man's down. Weir's down.
Z-Man had a little bit of confliction just because of, he's got his 2 kids now. So he was kind of on the fence. I had a 4th and they backed out, and that's completely fine. Things happen. So like finding that 4th person, that was tough. Finding someone that has like a reasonable webcam overlay too, and then like scheduling it. And like we were like a month out from release and I was on vacation. Just, that's the part of it, is like you could, all the ideas in the world you can have, and then just like, I don't know, like 1 week can throw everything kind of out of whack. Again, I know we're beating a dead horse here. The world would just be so much easier for Gym Leader Challenge content if we had an online client. But we're doing what we can. I've been playing some games in Twin Leaf. Not to throw too much out there, but it's getting there. Weeder and I have been playing a lot of test games, and it's fun. It's gonna be really, really good when it comes out. It's not there yet, so don't ask me about time frames, or don't ask anyone about time frames. But I'm really excited about Twin Leaf. So kudos to all the people that are working on that, in the hopes that one day we get it.
Yeah, that'd be great. I like that idea. Like you said that, because we don't have a lot of that. Do we have any of that going on? I can't think of anybody else off my head who's doing that.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's a good idea.
what I'll say is like, obviously, Z-Man, who we're going to talk about here in a bit, he does a lot of brewing and deck building. And so like if someone was going to look for something similar to what I was talking about, like look to him. He's always building something cool. I feel like my channel is more like, I want to kind of like lift up other people's decks and show them off, because like, again, like people just can't make their content. So like I like to show off other people's work. Like this person top 4 did really well with this deck. I kind of want to show it off. That's what my channel's been about recently. Every now and then I'll have a brew when I feel like enlightened or touched to do it. But really my channel's become a little bit more about like, how can I show off the community? And that's what this podcast is a little bit about. How can we show off the Gym Leader Challenge community?
Yeah, yeah. And I know if you are listening and thought about like making something or doing some kind of content, they say that you got to present something of value, right? Like it's either going to be like educational, something that's entertaining, something that is just providing value to your viewer, right? And so when we're watching All About That Basis, YouTube or Twitch, it's I feel I don't know if that's what you're going for. I feel like it's very educational, right? Like I'm learning different strategies. I'm learning different decks. I'm learning different combos, right? And like you said, like you're showcasing like how these different decks play. So that's why I was drawn to your channel in the first place, right? Because I'm trying to get good, man. I'm not trying to lose all the time. So I'm going to you and I'm trying to get better. So that's the value I feel like you're providing. On my side, I don't have the thoughts like that, right? I don't want to say I'm a little bit on the slower side when it comes to building decks, but I'm trying to be entertaining. Maybe I'm not, but I got a little bit of a personality I'm trying to showcase. So that's the value I'm hoping to push out, right? But like, yeah, man. So you just think of something that you want to do, and I think you just go for it. Like Jeff says, you have an idea, might not work out, right? But don't give up on it,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and segueing into you here a little bit, Batsquid, one of the things I do love about your channel is whenever I pop in, pumping music, you are interacting with chat. You've even been doing some like weightlifting videos on Twitch. I'm just like, I love it. I love everything about it. And it's something I never thought I'd watch a grown man do. But yeah, tell us about kind of your journey, man. Tell us, obviously how you got started. I know a little bit of the background. I think you talked about it a little bit in our episode 1, but what you're doing out there for Gym Leader Challenge and other stuff. Tell us all about it, man.
Yeah. So like he said, I'm when it comes to the Twitch side of things, I'm more variety, right? Because I'm not like super good at a video game. I'm not super good at this one thing, right? But I could do like a little bit of a lot of stuff. And then so I just tried to like just hang out, be entertained, just be real, just be like a real person, right? Like if you're in there with me, I just want to chit chat about you, about your day. He says I'm blasting music. It's just a cover, guys, because I have nothing to say. I just be talking a bunch of nonsense in there. And then when it comes to the Pokemon stuff, it's because I did get hurt. So I like to do like powerlifting competitions, like he mentions. I have one coming up and like play sports and things. And so when I was hurt, I couldn't do anything. So I had nothing to get that outlet out. So Pokemon really did that spot for me. And we're gonna get into Andrew Mahone in a little bit, but that's where I first found on YouTube that kind of content. Then it trickled down to Jeff and to these other people we're gonna mention. And I was like, man, I really want to try this and just put some stuff out there because we're starving, bro. We are starving for Gym Leader Challenge content on YouTube and in different areas, right? So I was like, I want to put out there what I want to see. So I started doing like my own little tabletop videos, right? Or like cards, like because they're not meta decks. They weren't meta decks at the time. It's just cards I had laying around the house. And I know a bunch of people have cards just laying around the house. So hey, let me put that out there so people can see. Hey, you could have a fun little competitive game with these cards that ain't doing nothing, right? Or the vlog stuff where we're going to the league. I want to see where people are playing at in shops, what personalities are there, just different things like that. So like if I want to see it and it's not out there, I'm gonna try to make it myself, basically.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah,
that's perfect. That's kind of how I felt too. It was like there's nothing out there for Gym Leader Challenge. I'm coming from a different card game. I'm coming from Magic the Gathering, and so when you type in a deck name in Magic the Gathering, like I want to look up Blue Red Wizards, which is one of my favorite decks in that game. I can find videos. I can find 5, 6, 7 videos. But if you go and you search up Turbo Dark right now on YouTube for Gym Leader Challenge, I don't think you can find a Turbo Dark deck. That's a video I've been meaning to make myself, but it's just not the same because the format, we're celebrating its 3-year anniversary this week. So it's relatively new, and PTCGO did a lot to throw us back into the dark ages a little bit. Obviously people still know about it, but it's tough. So everything you're doing, Batsquid, to promote GLC, I think obviously I love your vlog videos. Because we get to see you playing, you talk about your different decisions. You even pan over to your wife and you're like, let's go check in with my wife after round 1. And she'll kind of explain her round 1 and how it went too. Yeah. Like, I love kind of that whole, the realness of it and seeing people playing in a card shop against one another. And of course the husband-wife battles were really sweet back in the day. That's how I ended up started kind of watching your content was through those Gym Leader Challenge videos.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, I think one of the things too people want to know, because obviously we are trying to promote people to do more content. Like I want people to do more content for me to watch. I can't wait for Mahone to release a video every 2 or 3 months, because let's be honest, it takes him a little while to do that.
Yeah.
Which he focuses a lot on standard. Tabletop videos take a long time to edit, and his videos are top-notch quality. So I'm willing to wait for them, but they do not come as often as we would all like. So when you are filming your vlog stuff, what's your setup look like? Are you just phoning?
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. Yeah, because this is what so a lot of people think you need a lot of stuff to stream or to create a video, right? This is where on my phone, bro. I have my iPhone and I turn it on and just start doing it, man. And for me, like I don't have really an idea of what I want to do. So I just like take a whole bunch of videos of a whole bunch of randomness. And then when I get home, I'll just like throw it together, right? But that's what mostly I do that on. I have a tripod, like now, because I mean I'm committed to it, right? So now I'm trying to get like a little bit more professional, right? I got a tripod that I'll throw up on the table. I got some wireless microphones that I will use now, but you don't need all that to start off with. First, if you have your phone, you could start making content like today, right?
Yeah.
Today. So go do it.
Yeah. And obviously you can get fancy with it. Like I'm at the point where like people can't see it, but on this side of my screen, there's a bookshelf and I have like an arm hanging over a table that I purchased specifically to have in my room where you'll see my Gengar and stuff. And then I have a DSLR camera that I spent like $400 on, that's like HD, that sits over my tabletop when I invite friends over to play, but like I use it for webcam too, so it just sits above, points down. I play matches with Weeder on Discord, just kind of how we're doing this podcast right now. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to kind of like figure out the little nuances for stuff, but I think the thing is just get started. Like that was the biggest thing for me. It's just one day I just started and I was like, whatever, let's just keep going and see where it can go. And I think the scariest part is getting started. And then once you get started, just nothing else matters. You're going to be good. People are going to like it.
Exactly, man. It's so you're thinking about like, okay, people are saying I don't have the equipment to start it, right? Just use your phone. You don't need anything crazy, right? Like once you start getting invested like we are, then you can start spending some money for it. But then just do it, guys. I know there's that fear, right? Like no one's gonna watch my stuff. What if I'm bad? I'm camera shy. I'm all these things, bro. I'm super camera shy. I I fake it till I make it, right? Like you might see me. I'm faking it till I make it. I'm nervous every time I hit go live. I'm nervous. I'm hitting upload. I'm nervous, right? Everybody's like that. I talk to people who have been doing this for over a decade, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, I still get nervous about this kind of stuff, guys. You're gonna have bad videos, right?" Me and Jeff both talking about how we started and our videos were terrible, and we're getting better and better. I still think mine are terrible, but you're gonna get better, and you kind of need those growing pains, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like don't let that fear or that doubt get to you, man. Just hit upload and you'll be surprised, bro. There's an audience out there and you have something of value that you could give to them, right? Like I said, I want to see what your league is. I want to see what your favorite Pokemon is, what your favorite type is. I want to see your matches, right? It could be a matchup we've seen 10 times. I still want to see how you play it, right? So you have something that you could give to people. Turn on the phone, bro. Turn on the camera. Just try it. Give it a good 3-month try, bro. And then just see how you feel about it, right? Maybe it's not for you. You don't enjoy it. Maybe you love it, right? Maybe you get one viewer. Maybe you get 10 people watching your stuff. That's a classroom. That's a lot of people. Think about that,
I wish I had a 10 person classroom as a teacher. I think I got
Right.
30 most days, but
Oh, hey, the classrooms are that big now? Oh my goodness.
Well, for my Spanish classes, people need them graduation credits,
Wow, yeah, that's a big class. Never mind. Hey, point still stands. 10 people is a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My Twitch live numbers are not super great. Obviously, like I'm not a big Twitch streamer just because not like you, but not like you. You ended up hurting your leg. I ended up having a baby. And so like when you end up having a child, a lot of what you do is like staying at home until the child goes to sleep. And then once the child's asleep, you go off and do your stuff. So like I started kind of doing this when my son Ollie went to bed. And that's kind of where things started getting a little bit better in terms of qualities. I just sat down at night. I couldn't go to the gym; it was closed, so I had to start doing some other things in content. Yeah, just start. That's the thing. Just start. And we're going to talk about like there are going to be some content creators that we're going to talk about, and like these people are getting thousands of views, and they don't even use cameras. Like we're going to talk about EZPokepals up here. He doesn't use like a camera. He doesn't show his face, but he is still getting thousands of views. He's got hundreds of subscribers on his YouTube channel. Like he is still very successful. You can do it too. So make content. I want to watch more content is what I'm getting at. That's what this episode's all about.
Yeah. We being selfish here. We're doing this for us because we're trying to get more GLC contents for our entertainment. So please, bro, upload something.
Yeah. Yes, please.
But real quick too, Jeff, I just want to say too, like when it comes to like leveling your success, don't level it on views and stuff, bro. Because it's weird, right? Like I'll see people who have huge YouTube channels, but then their streams, there's no one watching their streams, right? Or vice versa. There's big streamers who don't have a big YouTube following. There's people who have a big presence like on Twitter and other social platforms. It's weird, dude, how it is. So you don't measure it like that. There's a saying is called I know you know it, Jeff. It's comparison is the thief of joy. Is that it?
That sounds right to me.
Okay, something like that. You get the point though, right? So like for example, I uploaded my recent vlog and I got 500 views. For me, 500 views is amazing. I was ecstatic. I was so happy, right? That same day after I put that, I looked somebody else up and it just like happened to pop up underneath what I said. And they're like, 5,000 views on my first YouTube video ever. Thank you guys. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like if I was like, it's a little bit weird that happened to me like that. Like 500 views. Wow. Right underneath 5,000 views, first video ever. Like, you know, that might happen, bro, but don't compare yourself. Cause then if I would have been 6 feet deep. Okay. Like just enjoy for you what you're doing and you're going to be fine.
Yeah. And that's part of it. Find joy in what you're doing. Think of it as, again, like I mentioned it, investing in yourselves. Like learning how to edit videos was really cool for me. I enjoyed it for a bit. Obviously, less enjoyment now these days. It's come a little bit more tedious. But like I know how to edit a video now, like reasonably.
That's a good skill. It's a good skill.
I know how to set up a podcast. Who would have thought that like I'd be doing these sorts of things? And so I'm viewing it as an investment. I'm viewing it as a way to interact with people in my community. It's just like so many other benefits than just the views and the subscribers. I mean, obviously, I think we all maybe in the back of our head a little bit are going to be like, yeah, this is going to be my full-time job. But like, I'm still a teacher, guys. I'm going to be a teacher for a long time. I'm going to retire a teacher. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You know, I left before I got to mention it too. I like your, I have noticed you're upgrading yourself as far as editing wise. Like you recently, it was a simple thing too. Like you were just started like fast forwarding the shuffles.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you started fast forwarding the shuffles and then like started popping up the cards. And you were always doing that, but now everything just seems a lot more smoother.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, and all of that.
Have you been working on that or?
Yeah, so all of it's just like, people comment on my YouTube videos and like you can take them, like comments on your YouTube videos are either like, we love you or like, you suck. And sometimes you get like the in-between that's like, hey, like super excited about your success. Like your videos are blowing up. Have you considered doing this? Or like, oh, it'd be so much like your cards are popping up and they're distracting. You should do this instead. And maybe one comment you're like, okay, I'm going to keep doing it the way I'm doing it. Then like maybe 2 people start saying like, okay, listen to your viewers. Like a lot of them have maybe some know-how in that regard. So like, my first kind of video that blew up after I started editing things was a video about Meganium. And Meganium is a super popular Pokemon just because there's no content about Meganium because it sucks in the video games. And in GLC, there's not really a playable card. So like I had a pretty sweet Meganium deck. And my editing was real choppy in that video, but I was editing where I'd cut and then, cut those parts out. And it just didn't feel like it was like this movement. And then I'd jump over here and jump over there. So it felt real choppy. And so I was just like, well, like, what if, like, instead of cutting those moments, I like sped up a shuffling or just like, here I am explaining something on Twitch because my opponent's like searching through their deck for that downtime. That's not necessary for a YouTube video. No one wants to watch a 50-minute video about me shuffling and talking through like plays. So just like cut that boring stuff out, mute it, speed it up. And it ended up just kind of like looking really good. Like it takes a bit of time, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah, it looks a lot smoother too, as well as I mentioned to you. And it does take a little bit more time, but at some point you kind of, I know you said it's a hassle too, but at some point you kind of like start enjoying it. Like I dreaded it. I dreaded content creating, dude. I hated editing. I hated it. And now I'll sit here and this is like what I do to relax. Sometimes I'm like, hey, we getting a little bit better up in here.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
I'm the same way. Like I dread doing it, and then once I'm sitting down and doing it, I'm like, we're on a roll. Let's keep doing it.
yeah,
It's
keep
like
moving.
running, like when you get that runner's high. Not that I'm comparing editing to the runner's high that you get, but like the
It's
longer
a
you
good
run,
comparison.
the longer
Yeah.
the run, you better you feel. So like you're just getting into a video, and now it's kind of I have it down to a process where like I spend 2 days editing my videos, and it takes about an hour and a half each day for me to do a little bit of it, maybe an hour depending on how quick the video is. But like the first day I just go through and I watch the video and I cut and I choose the scenes I'm going to do. And that way I can like watch the video all the way through, figure out if it's going to be a video that I want to cut and shorten it, do the speed ups that I mentioned. And then the second day after I've kind of like got that into my brain, I go back the next day and that's when I add the visuals and the music and the, some of the effects and things like that. And then that gives me a second chance to watch it now. So like there's a process to it. And that doesn't overwhelm me in one day. And one of the things too is like obviously the podcast, we try to get an episode out every week, but like I'm not stressing about getting videos out on YouTube anymore. I used to be like, I need to get a video or 2 videos out every week. But I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah.
when they come out, they come out. And that's been liberating to a certain degree. It can be
Yeah.
paralyzing sometimes when you're like, I need to do this. I need to pump out the content. But pumping out quality content is so much better than just the vast amount of quantity.
Exactly. I agree with you too on that one. Have you heard of Sam Solik on YouTube? Popular guy right now.
Okay.
He's a bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
And he has millions of views. And the reason why people talk about him so much in the YouTube space is because this guy goes against the grain. He doesn't edit.
Mm-hmm.
He has like just long videos of him just chatting, just talking, right? No cuts. A thumbnail, doesn't even care about the thumbnail, throws it up, and people just like the raw quality of it, right? So like I'm a little bit lazy too, so I'll go for the minimum if I have to. But like I enjoy sometimes just like raw. Just I think you're saying my YouTube, you go and it's just I put the camera up and just play the game and throw it on YouTube, right? You don't have to have special effects all the time. You don't have to have music all the time, right? Sometimes you can just throw it and people want to see some real stuff too. So if editing isn't your forte or something that interests you, bro, just throw the camera on and just see what happens, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I was gonna say something else, Jeff, and I forgot, man. Maybe I'll come back to it. I'm
it'll
sorry.
come to you. It'll come to you.
I started yapping. My bad.
No, hey, this is what the people want to hear. This is what I want to hear anyway. I don't care. This episode's for me, Batsquid. I want to hear people talk about content creating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back. Let's bring it back. Gym leader challenge. All right, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, gym leader challenge stuff. So obviously, we're going to talk about some people out there that are creating gym leader challenge content. Are we ready for that part, Batsquid, just to get into the people that do it?
If you are, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've got any more to say. I'm trying to think if there anything is. Obviously, we'll edit this part out while I'm thinking about it. But yeah, let's just get into the people.
Keep it in.
Yeah, let's get to the people because the people are what we want to hear. So obviously, Batsquid and I both have our own YouTubes and Twitch. We both do Gym Leader Challenge content. I'm exclusively Gym Leader Challenge. Batsquid's got some other stuff going on. I love to watch the other stuff too, and it's nice to have a little bit of a break from it. So I'm at All About That Base. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at Batsquid93 is our friend Batsquid here. Check us out if you want to. If I was to summarize my content, I would say Bargain Bin Mahone is what I would call myself. Obviously not as top notch as him. I have been told that my explanations of what decks do are top notch, and I don't know if that's good or bad. But I don't know if that's the teacher in me coming out. But every now and then I start talking about a deck, and you can tell I get excited about those sorts of things.
Yeah,
so,
it's good. I like that. It's my favorite.
That's me. And Batsquid, if you were to characterize and you can do Gym Leader Challenge or any of your content, what would you tell us about it in a couple sentences?
Yeah. My content could be described as a noob picks up shiny cardboard, and you're gonna watch it. That's what it is. Noob picks up shiny cardboard. Because I'm trying. All of my videos are me losing. But I mean, we all start somewhere, so you're going along with me as I play against my locals and try to beat them. That's basically it.
To give you some credit, I know you have at least 2 badges at your locals.
I do.
I know you
I
have the
do.
dark badge. Is it the metal badge? Is the other one you have?
It's the metal badge. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When the Metang came out, and I put a little tanky metal deck together. I'm proud of that one. The
So,
dark deck, I just stole that from y'all, and that won me one. I'm very happy about that. So real quick too, we were mentioned it. It was back when the tournament happened in the Cardboard Warriors, right? So I won the darkness, went into the tournament feeling super confident, and got just obliterated by the Hitmon Bros. Oh my goodness, man! I was not expecting that. Threw me into the losers bracket, right? And the dark that specific is the Needle Queen, Needle King deck. It's specifically for like it goes good against colorists and all that. All of them were in the winners bracket, so I didn't even see a single one of them, man. So I was pretty upset about that. But yeah, I got two.
yeah. Hitmon Bros is a good matchup. I'm glad someone else mentioned it. Usually I'm the one who's like, Hitmon Bros. So you mentioned it this time.
Crazy. Yeah. That's your baby. Yeah.
He brought it up, chat, not me. He brought it up. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about just some of the awesome content creators out there. And I think there's no better place to start than Tricky Jim. And this is just the man who invented the Gym Leader Challenge format, Andrew Mahone. It's just top quality stuff. Like, I remember PTCGO went down and he's like, I'm going to take a week and think about like what I need to do. And he came back and the videos were better. Like, it's like, I don't understand this man. He's got a drive to make top quality content. Like, I know he's a wonderful player, but above all things else, he cares about what he does. And you can tell in his video, you can tell it in the way that he treats his community. Love me some Andrew Mahone. So I think he's the best in the biz as far as what you're looking for when you go to Tricky Jim. And honestly, if you're watching me, you've already been to Tricky Jim, I'm sure. But just on the off chance that I'm your first introduction, he's got great edited gameplay videos. Like, I'm not even talking about just Gym Leader Challenge, like new standard decks that before the cards come out, he'll test them and do tabletop videos. He has some old school retro videos. It's just high quality. He's an amazing player. And then the coolest thing he's kind of started doing is he's been doing some like more historical videos. Like, he just had a video come out where he's like, who's the best player in Pokemon history? And like that video is so awesome. And then on top of that, he did one that was like, hey, this is all things about Gym Leader Challenge and how the format got started. So like, it's just really cool and neat what he's doing. It's great.
I think Andrew is the standard when it comes to the GLC content on YouTube for sure. I love that's how I found him. I love the game tabletop stuff that he does. It was I know exactly which video it was too, is when Palafin came out, the 210 Palafin, and he did a video on that, and it was just so charming, and I just like the effects he did and the way they explained it. I was like, man, this stuff is good. And that's where I trickled down into your stuff, because your stuff is very similar, the tabletop stuff. And he did it on stream once where he was talking about like his editing process, and he edited for us a little bit on that stream, and just the way he's so meticulous, bro. Like, it's completely opposite of me. Like, he's like, stuff like dragging out a line has to be this line here. I want this effect to come out behind, not in front. I want this sound effect to play exactly when this happens. Like you said, he really cares about the stuff he's making, and it shows in his videos, right? It's stuff like if it wasn't there, you would never notice it. If he didn't point it out, I never would have noticed it. But he's taking the time to just make sure that piece is right where he wants it. So I think he said he's been doing it for like decades, bro. Like at least 13, 15 years, right? Of making videos, creating content, streaming, doing stuff on YouTube. So it takes time, and if you care about it like that, I mean, it shows in his videos. I agree. I think he's the best in the biz too.
Yeah. And, you bring that up, how long he's been doing it. I found out the other day that he is older than me. And I was like, wait, what? Like, no, yeah. I definitely thought he was younger than me. But
with 35, 36?
Yeah. So I was like,
yeah,
okay, cool. Awesome. But yeah, he is the standard. And just like you and just like so many of us that get in a Gym Leader Challenge, I think like Fire Mill was maybe one of the first videos that I kind of started paying attention to. Like, he had a Fire Mill video and it was super sweet. I think there was maybe like even like a Rillasaur video back in the day, but just like you get lost watching his YouTube content. It's so good. And then when he switched over from PTCGO to the tabletop stuff, you mentioned it already, like the numbers, the damage counters flash on string. He's got sound effects. He's trying to keep it feeling like a video game, even though it's just him at a table with his friends. And that's kind of what I tried to model a lot of what I'm off of. Like, I didn't go to school to edit videos. I just watched his videos and was like, how can I kind of recreate kind of like this magic that he does? And that's why Bargain Bin Mahone, I think, is the best representation of who I am.
I like it, bro. It's great to be inspired, bro. And I think all of us in the community have been inspired by this guy. Z-Man's in the chat too, saying that watching him during the Lugia format really helped him get into GLC. So I know a lot of us got in through him doing that, man. So hey, Andrew, shout out, man. If you wanna lose some games, invite me out. I know you have Weeder coming out soon to play some tabletop with you. I'm looking forward to that. I might be better than Weeder. They're not gonna tell you that, right? But I might be. I'm just kidding, bro.
I think so too. And that's going to be exciting because obviously at the time of filming this, tomorrow, friend of the stream, Weeder, is going to be live on Tricky Jim's stream. I think maybe playing Leviathan, which is his baby deck. He just won the Async League finals with that deck. So just like I have a video, a little bit of a plug here. I have a video of Weeder kicking my butt with Leviathan, but hopefully there'll be another video of Leviathan out there. And that's just what I want so much from this content is I just want more. I want to be able to search up colorless birds, which is like a deck that's I've got built right here that I'm going to plan to put on stream just because people love colorless birds, but you can't find any content on colorless birds. So like so much magic gets lost, and these people that we're talking about today are the people trying to keep, that stuff alive, trying to keep deck building, trying to keep niche decks, cool ideas growing. And so shout out to Andrew Mahone because none of us would be doing this if he didn't invent the format. And then shout out to him for continuing even after the online client went down. So many awesome things.
Yeah, big love, big love.
All right. Next up is OmniPoke. And we got Joe up here. And, he is not specifically GLC, but his series he did a series for each type, I think merits his inclusion today. And so his YouTube is at OmniPoke if you want to find him on Twitch, which I don't think he does a lot of Twitch stuff, but you can find him there too, Team OmniPoke there. But yeah, he just does a video on each type. It's very introductory. It talks through kind of like maybe some of the staples that you'll see in each deck. I think that those videos are great for beginners. Like if you're trying to get to the format and you just love grass, go watch his grass video. And like all things that he does is top notch. He's just a great narrator. His orations are great. He speaks very well, and it is educational to a lot of degree.
Yeah, like we talked about, you got to provide that value, and Joe does that. I like it breaks it down so well in his videos. Like, this is great grass supporters. These are great grass attackers. These are the kind of supporters you would want to play with them. He did it for every type, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I see most of them. I fall asleep to him. I'll be like, man, I'm gonna learn some GLC today, and it's something so it's a chill, comforting channel, bro. I like Joe a lot too. Yeah. He's also funny. Z-Man says he's also funny. There you go.
Yeah, check him out. I haven't watched, obviously, like when you make content, it's hard to digest content is what I've learned over this last year or so. So like, it's hard for me to like just go on YouTube and search something up when I'm like, I should probably be editing a video, or I'm going to use what little time I have to like do something fun. So I don't get as much of a chance to watch stuff outside of Gym Leader Challenge as I hope to, but he's definitely one that I've heard wonderful things about. So check out Joe.
Shout out.
All right. Not YouTube, not Twitch, but it's great. And I've got to mention it every time because it kind of feels like my GLC home to a certain degree. And that's CardBoardWarriors.net. And again, you're not going to find YouTube videos. You're not going to find a Twitch stream, although maybe one day there will be all of those things kind of associated with that. But it's got great community articles. Like you've got articles written by deck builders and deck pilots. Some of the mods get on there and just write articles about like different rulings that are happening, how to build decks, set reviews. And then beyond that, the website has got a deck builder, card searcher. They run tournaments. Like, this is the place that, like, if you just want to check out a cool deck list and you don't have time to watch a 30-minute video, check out a quick article and read it down.
That's content too, bro. Content just doesn't have to be videos or podcasts. These guys are writing articles. Jeffrey just read an article, didn't he?
Yeah, he wrote one about recovery cards because Night Stretcher's coming out, which is, I think, is going to be pretty game changing from what was it, Shrouded Fable.
It is.
So he wrote an article about recovery cards and like the different recovery cards and how you can play them. Great stuff. So
now that Night Stretcher is here, we get rid of that PokePals. What's it called? Buddy Buddy Rescue.
Yeah, Buddy Buddy Rescue.
Yeah, get rid of that one. We got Night Stretcher. But Jeffrey's one of the best GLC players I know, bro, and he's writing free articles, dude. So I mean, yeah, check that stuff out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. All these articles are coming from a place of love. A lot of times when people write articles about their deck, they've just 4-0'd a tournament, or done well with it, or had a cool, neat idea that they just wanted to share. Like, there's an article about like single strike fighting, which is a deck that like has never put up results, but this person was just like, I really like this deck, and I felt committed enough to write an article. So like, it's cool. So check out CardboardWarriors.net, like you're living in the 90s and you put .net again. It's a great place. I know that the GymLeaderChallenge.com website is a place where a lot of people start and look through deck list. I think like immediately after you check out GymLeaderChallenge.com, you should head over to CardboardWarriors.net, and that should probably be the home for where you check out deck list for maybe the rest of your career, because that's where it's at.
Thank you, Weeder, for putting that together.
Oh yeah. Recently, kind of coming to light, we talked about him earlier. We got Ben Morse. At morsemakes is his YouTube and his Twitch. Doesn't do a lot of Twitch stuff, but his YouTube stuff is top notch, and he's similar to kind of what you started doing. You know, your vlog videos are some of my favorite things. Ben Morse's videos, his vlog videos are about full grip games, and which is the home of GLC. That's where it was born. These are the people that were on like the front lines inventing the format. And so he does a vlog series, and he'll walk in there and he'll be like, here's what we're doing today. And he'll like interview the different people, and it's just so awesome. And then he started recently even like videoing the finals just with his phone. Just like you mentioned, he's got a little tripod and his phone just over the matches. And then he commentates when he gets home about the different things. And then we got to talk about amazing playmats. He's more than a content creator. He is a fabricator. And so he makes these awesome playmats. So check him out on Etsy. This right here is like, you know, if you're a 90s child like I was, you know, this is what you remember computers looking like. It's just like the original Windows, like 2000 backdrop. It's just super sweet. So he makes playmats. So check him out, not only on YouTube and Twitch, check him out on Etsy too.
Yeah, shout out. You was saying that you was inspired by Andrew. I was actually inspired by Ben. I stole his idea, and y'all know me by now. I'm not afraid to say when I'm stealing ideas. I stole the vlogs from him, dude. I loved it, man. I was like, yes, finally, this is the kind of content I want to see, dude. I want to see the games. I want to see the people in the leagues. I want to see the shop where y'all are playing at. I want to see the different decks. I want interviews. This was it, man. So I was like, hey, I'm taking the camera tomorrow to the league. And you know how he did start doing the tabletop stuff and like commenting over it, like the finals? Don't be surprised. Y'all about to start seeing some Batsquid 93, exactly that same stuff. And you could, dude, I get a little, like, I'm a little bit of a fanboy when it comes to this kind of stuff. I see Ben on Twitter. I be like, Ben, yeah. I be trying to talk to him, get his attention. Like, Ben, what's up, Ben? Because I'm a fan, man. So, hey, shout out to Ben. Thank you for the ideas, bro. I'm writing them down. If you got another one, I'm taking that one too. Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're in good company because after he started doing his vlog videos, Mahone came out with one too. I think the week that Ben wasn't there. And he was like, I was inspired by Ben too. So, you know, Morse out there just like inspiring us all to do better. And every time a new Gym Leader Challenge channel pops up, I'm like, I got to up my game. Like,
it's good stuff.
Yeah, like I feel like I need to, like these people inspire me to do better, just because they're doing better, right? Like you don't want to be that person. Like it's group work in a classroom, and you're the guy that's just like sitting there on your phone. Like you don't want to be that guy when everyone else is working so hard. So you're gonna like put your phone down and start actually contributing to the group. That's what these people make me do. I get complacent. They keep me out of that hole.
Yeah, dude, I like you because me and you are similar. Like we're It's a healthy competitiveness, right? Like me, I like to lean like towards the trash talk and stuff a little bit, and you're sneaky about it. Like you won't say it out loud, but you a trash talker too. You a trash talker too.
Yeah, if I was a Pokemon card, I'd be Judge.
That's a good one. Yeah, yeah, that's fun.
All
All
right.
right, here we go. We got the man.
Yeah, Z-Man and Waffles. They're up in chat right now too. At least Z-Man is. But yeah, this was like, I don't know. I did not know Z-Man very well, and he came into the Cardboard Warriors chat, and I remember him like kind of talking about maybe starting something, and we'd be like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." Like I have no idea who you are, but that's cool. The more the better. And then I remember it being kind of a little contentious at first because he was like, "Yeah, I made the Lost Zone deck," or someone mentioned him making the Lost Zone deck, and then everyone in Cardboard Warriors was like, "We've got a dated timestamp article that someone else did it," and it was like, well, two people can come up with ideas. Like two people can have the ideas. It's not like you can do a lot with Lost Zone, right? Like you have to include like 50 cards in that deck. There's really only 10 cards that you could do. So that was kind of like our first introduction to Z-Man. And then like you get to know him and you're like, this is sweet. We love everything about him. But the best thing about his streams are that like he and his wife, Rhea, Waffles, they do great stuff. Like they're always playing against each other. She loves Dragon, so Dragon is almost always in her hand. And then Z-Man's got some like crazy deck like Cloth, or he has the Monkey Dory deck, or he's trying to do something with the new Dust Noir and Dust Skull that are coming out in shape of I always say it backwards, Shrouded Fable. And so he's doing all that stuff. Cast Form, Vader Tots throwing out Cast Form here in the chat. He always doing something cool and unique. And like these are not just like meme decks. Some of them are meme decks, Z-Man. Some of them are meme decks, but some of them are competitive, and I love them. And just seeing kind of like where his passion lies, and it's in deck building. And if you're someone who likes the meme, if you're someone who wants to play your rogue deck competitively, like he would be your hero, and he's my hero to a certain degree. So check him out. You can also check out his locals. Like I'm a member of their local Discord, and just like seeing how many people are playing and how many different events they're having, and how he and some of the other people like DJ Backwards is a part of their community. If you know who that is, he's got some sweet decks up on Cardboard Warriors, and just their community is so full of like all these people that like you see their deck list and you're like, oh, this is super awesome. Like Bohemian has a Turbo Raikou list, and all these people are playing and like talking to each other and brewing, and then Z-Man gets to kind of share out kind of what's going on through the local streams. I just love it. Just love it.
Yeah, that's a very healthy community in there, man. Yeah, Z-Man and Waffles, you guys are awesome, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. I love the streams. Super creative. This is what I was talking about. I am not that creative. He made that. Was it the Wug Trio Mill? I was like, you could do Wug Trio Mill in GLC because I play it in the standard. Like, you could do Wug Trio Mill in GLC. So yeah, he always has good ideas on there. So y'all check out Z-Man. Dude, real quick to you. I know we talked and you said you don't want to do YouTube because you don't want to edit and stuff like that. Please just throw it up there. Just throw it in there, dude. Like we're saying, we're trying to get we need some stuff to watch, man. Come on.
And selfishly, like every now and then I'll like chime in to Z-Man. I'll be like, hey man, you need some help editing? Like I can teach you how to edit, because like his stuff is so good. I want to be able to watch it edited, because I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it's rough for me to watch unedited content just because of where my brain's at.
Told me that.
So I'm like, edit it because it's good. I want to be able to watch it. So like whenever I reach out to him and I'm like, do it. I know it's gonna be awful for him, but like selfishly, I'm like, I want to watch the super awesome Z-Man video.
This is us telling you, put the babies to sleep, all right, and do some videos for us, please.
Please. All right. Next up, another CB Dub alum. We got Lee Hoffman. We had him on stream. He's been on the podcast, I think, 2 times now. But Lee Hoffman, he's on Twitch at Lee Hoffman. He's a gambler when it comes to deck building and playing his game. So I got high stakes gaming on the stream. Like this man loves a coin flip. He loves some creative plays. Like he's playing Turbo Raikou, but he's playing like Max Elixir. I think he might have like Energy Sticker or Turbo Patch in his deck. Like all these kind of like unique niche ways to attach energy to get a turn 2 Raikou off. And if it doesn't happen, he loses. And if it does, he wins. And it's just like, it's so cool to see. And you can like see his personality kind of in these decks. But, you know, high stakes gaming is how I would describe him. He's a gambler and it pays off. It does. He ended up winning full grip games with a 5 Pokemon
That's the
dragon deck.
thing.
Yeah, it was Dragostop was the deck. It was insane. He's creative. He's got a lot of stuff. Yeah, he loves to send out cards to people. So like if you're someone who likes to sign cards and send them to people to kind of get like this signed card collection, hop into the Cardboard Warriors Discord. He will swap with you. Like I've got a ton of cards. I wonder if I can find him. The Hitmonlee in my Hitmon Bros deck is signed by him. He sent me like a Palafin too. Like he will send you super sweet cards. And he loves Dragon. I consider him kind of like the Dragon Master. He's always kind of brewing and tinkering with Dragon. So
yeah, winning full grip with only 5 dragons, you have to be the Dragon Master at that point. Lee, you offending me, man. Why don't I have a card signed by you? If you hearing this, you better send me something, bro. I'll put it in the deck. That way, every time I'm playing, like, yeah, this is the Dragon Master right here. Lee Hoffman.
No, yeah, I got a Lee signed Garchomp somewhere too. Yeah, he just sends
I need that. That's awesome.
We got to get you one, Batsquid. I got to send you a Let Loose promo too. While I'm thinking about it, I got to send everyone a Let Loose promo. I've been meaning to do that. Just time's always the enemy.
Moo.
Oh yeah, we got Team MooMooMilk. And this was, we had Pellet on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. We got to take a moment because Z-Man is just tuning into us on chat that we got full grip game finals right now is Morse versus Weeder.
Oh, that's a great matchup.
And if Morse wins, he wins the entire league because he's tied on badges. So this is kind of like Weeder is going to maybe crush some dreams. But I think even if Morse loses this matchup, I think he gets to go into a playoff. So
yeah, that's the thing. So we want Weeder to win because we want the playoff. I
think so too, because that's it's Alex Plopel. If you know him in the Cardboard Warriors Discord, that would be Plopel versus Morse. They're both super skilled players. Love to see it. I'm assuming that Weeder's playing Leviathan right now, just like bankrolling full grip games with his spicy brew that he came up with. It's just been dominating everyone. I hope he gets maybe not Wailord banned, but maybe like we'll see a comment tomorrow where Mahone's like Wailord too good.
Dude, how cool is it that we are all around the world and we are all super hyped about this finals that's happening in Ohio at a card shop, right? Like he said that and we all knew exactly what he was talking about. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's how starved we are. Like that's where we're at. Like we're waiting on a Discord message to give us information about Gem Leader Challenge content. So the people that are making the content, great. And I can't wait because if Morse is playing in it, I can't wait for Morse's video to come out if he ends up making it about this, because it's going to be super awesome. I'm sure we're going to hear Weeder talk about it on Andrew Mahone's stream at Tricky Gem tomorrow. Just amazing.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna be there.
I feel like a sportscaster right now. We were just like,
time out and in breaking news here, Weeder with the upset.
I mean, if you were like me in 1999, we had Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa, the home run kind of like duel that was going on, like who was going to get the most home runs, who's going to break the record and all those things. It feels like that for nerds. All right. Well, back to it. We got Team MooMooMilk. And again, I mentioned Pellet. Pellet was on the podcast a couple weeks ago where he talked about kind of all the different types. And so he's in Puerto Rico. They have kind of like a really tight-knit community. It's not small, but it's definitely tight-knit. And he has his own little team of players, Team MooMooMilk. And they kind of all like sit around. They like brew these different decks and they're always talking to each other. And so they do deck tech videos and they kind of highlight interesting builds, not only from their community, but some of the decks that are doing well. You know, Pellet did Elusive Feather. Like that's his creation, as he made kind of a bug type deck that's really competitive. And so he did a deck tech video on that. He's been doing some for other people in his community too. So deck tech videos are what you're going to get. And they're very well done. I enjoy them too. And kind of his new thing is like, instead of just playing water, why don't you try to play ice? Or instead of playing grass, play bug. Instead of playing
Mhm.
fighting, play just the ground type. Like, can you fit other types? And so I think some of his videos are starting to reflect kind of where his head is at. And it's really cool. So check out at MooMooMilk on YouTube.
I like the style or the format of how he does his videos. And the guys, not everyone's gonna like what you do, right? But there's an audience out there for everybody. And for me, I'm his audience. He just has his cards. He has the camera on his tabletop, and he'll just put his cards down. I love the physical cards of it, right? I like hearing the slap on the table with the cards, right? I like hearing the shuffles. I really enjoy. I don't know if he's hearing this, right? I just like to talk to him like it's personal. But I really enjoy the way you do your videos, bro. Keep it up, please. Start putting some more stuff out there so I can start stealing your ideas. Yeah. And I appreciate you, bro. I do be watching your stuff all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he has a video about a grass deck, and there used to be Yoshi used to be kind of like one of the kings of grass when I was starting
I
out,
watched that.
and he's since kind of like, Yoshi has left the format to a certain degree. I think he maybe even left Pokemon for a time, but like his grass decks were the decks that you played back in the day. Like you were net decking his deck, but you can't find those like any content on it, right? Like you'd have to look back through a log of CardBoardWarriors Limitless limitless results. Like no one's got time to do that.
Yeah, it was before me. So I got introduced to it through his video. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's what I love about his videos. That's what I love about like what we're doing right now is like we're chronicling this really sad time in GLC history where we don't have a client. Like we're historians to a certain degree. And I want more people to be writing down and commenting and talking about these things. So kudos to you, Pellet. You're doing the GLC Lord's work. We appreciate it. All right, next up, EZPokepals. You might find them on YouTube at EZPokepals. That's EZ, like the letters ENZ, and then Pokepals like you'd think it was spelled. And this is one of the ones I talked about. You don't even need a camera to really do this. It's more than like a PowerPoint talkover. Like he's got some visuals and editing that goes into it, but he like has a deck or he has a topic that he wants to talk about. Like he went over the Salvatore ruling in one of his videos, but he just kind of like talks over visuals as he does it. Like no cameras needed. All he needs is a microphone, and he's informative talkovers on unique decks. And this man like trolled us so hard on April Fools. He was like, "This is the best GLC deck ever," and he just goes into these cards that no one would ever play ever. And like it's like a 12 to 13 minute long video, and you could tell that it took him probably like hours of work and that he'd been thinking about it for months because it released on April Fools. And you're just like, whoa, that's amazing. So yeah, so kudos to EZPokepals. That's awesome.
Nice, man. Nice. If you guys are trying to do something like that, don't be bothered that someone else is doing the same thing you are, because no one's gonna be able to do it the way you do it, right? That's the difference. We might be doing the same deck, talking about the same cards, but it's you that's providing that value. So if EZPokepals or whoever else has already done it, do it in your style, bro.
Yeah, man, that's what it is. Show yourself, man. That's what content creating is all about. Show who you are. Someone's gonna like it. Someone's gonna like a salty mid-30s man with a beard who stutters sometimes. Like someone's gonna like it. Someone likes me somewhere, I'm sure.
The way that comment could have been about either of us is hilarious, by the way.
All right. Next up, I think this is our last one to kind of talk about. Do I have another one? Because we got to talk about. Did I leave off Ember slide? We got to talk about Ember too, because I have something for Ember. I might just pull it up and we'll edit that out here in a bit. But Tintypes. He's got informative talkover videos too. He doesn't have a camera either. He doesn't do GLC exclusive stuff, but he does do it from time to time. And when he does do it, he does like meta analysis, rankings. Like these are kind of like the tier list and those sorts of things, like top 10, kind of like more controversial topics that I would say. Like, I don't want to use the word clickbaity, but like if you're like, he's like, these are the top 10 cards for GLC. Like that's something that you're going to be interested in. Click on, these are the S tier decks, like things like that like, he's obviously going to have an opinion on that are going to bring up discussion. So I think that's what his videos do best, is they provoke discussion. And one of his videos that I think that provokes the most discussion that I've ever seen from a singular YouTube video in any of the Discords was he did the infamous rise and fall of Gym Leader Challenge video that some people took a different way. And
The heart.
yeah. But it is, PTCGO had just gone down. It had sunsetted. And there's tons of us playing webcam. There's tons of us still in the Discord communicating every day about Gym Leader Challenge and about our locals. And he's like, it's dead. And we're like, what, bro? What? So, yeah, it provoked a lot of discussion, which I appreciate about that. But that's 10 types. Check them out for sure.
Yeah. I he's kind of similar to OmniPoke, where it's kind of like informative about each type and stuff. I really like his how natural he is when he talks. Like it doesn't seem scripted. He's just off the hip, right? That's
Yeah.
the term. What I mean. So I appreciate that about 10 types. Yeah. And he's just doing the YouTube thing. He's trying to clickbait all of us, but you gotta play the game sometimes, I guess, huh?
Yeah, you can't hate the player, man. He's doing what I should probably do more of. Like I should probably be like, check out my tier list. Like
making Weeder retire today on stream. Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Dang. I should be doing that sort of thing. So Ember, let's talk about Ember Power TCG. And so I really like his content because it's something I can consume without like thinking about like the gameplay part of it. Like it's a different side of it. And he does do some stuff that you'll like be more thought provoking for like what you're going to put into your decks. But my favorite thing about Ember Power, and you can find him on YouTube at Ember Power TCG 7692, is that he does a series about like specific Pokemon. He's like, hey, here are all the Zervorks in GLC. Here's all the Lucarios in GLC. And I think so many of us, when we get into GLC, we're like, how do I play my favorite Pokemon? What can I do to put my favorite Pokemon in a deck? Or like, what's the best card? Like, what's the best Krabby? And so that's what Ember's doing. So he's doing a series about your favorite Pokemon. He's getting through it. I'm sure he'll get to it eventually. But these are all the cards for a Lucario and Gym Leader Challenge, what they do and how they might fit into a deck. So, that's something that people need to see, especially newer players that have that love of a specific Pokemon. So check it out. He does set reviews too. And then, he does a ton of other stuff too. He's got standard content and all that stuff out there too. So check him out. But his GLC stuff, all about those specific moms.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Ember. I really like that too, because sometimes we just get so caught up in meta, right? Like, okay, this is definitely the best such and such Pokemon. This one's the best such and such Pokemon. So if you want to be, if you're not like me and you don't want to be a thief and you want to just be creative and you want to play your favorite Pokemon, check out Ember because he has all those stuff listed on there. I think I was seeing this. I didn't know there was so many Zoroark. I think that's the most recent one I was seeing, man. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I remember like a couple months ago, because we had Phoenix on too, Phoenix Fire. And Zoroark is a card that he plays in his dark decks, but it's not the Zoroark that people think. There's the Mind Jack with a stand-in ability Zoroark that most people play, where it can switch with the active, and then it does 10 plus 30 for each bench Pokemon. And that's the Zoroark that a lot of people play because it synergizes well with Hoopa. But then there's the copycat Hoopa that for 2 energy just copies an attack. And so that card saw a lot more play if you're concerned about Wailord, because you just attach a double colorless that you're already playing in your Guzzlord deck. You've got the special energy and you can hit Wailord for 240 on a KO. So
yeah. Big boy damage.
So yeah, foul plays Zoroark might be something to consider. So, and if that's something you're interested in, that's definitely a video. Ember Power's got Zoroark video out there. Check out all the different Zoroarks you could or could not play.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, I'm sure we're missing someone. There's a lot of other language content out there. I can't name any off the top of my head. Someone did recommend one to me. There's a local game store in a Spanish speaking country that they do they showcase their finals. I know of at least another, I can't remember his stream name, but there's another Spanish speaker that does some GLC content. So there's stuff in other languages out there too. If I missed anyone, if Batsquid and I forgot to mention something, or we forgot to mention maybe your favorite aspect of one of the people we talked about, comment them below. If you're in YouTube, just let people know about all the awesome Gym Leader Challenge content, because we can't get to it all. We would love to, but we know we're going to miss some things, drop it through the bucket. But let us know.
Yeah, please, bro. Like I said, I'm starving for content, man. I want to get to know y'all too. I want to make friends, bro. And my last words, if you guys are, wanting to do it, just hit upload. Just hit the upload button. You guys got this. I believe in you. I believe in you.
Yeah. Most people are going to be nice. That's the fact. Like, I do not get very many negative answers. Only one person's banned on my YouTube channel. All right. Well, hey, that's it. Thanks for listening. Please go out and check out all the amazing Gym Leader Challenge content that we are fortunate enough to have after all the things we've been through this past year in particular. Since we're hitting year 3, the anniversary, I'm hoping that year 3 into year 4 has a lot of big changes for Gym Leader Challenge, not only in like what cards we see played, but also in like how content is going to be able to be created. Hopefully we'll see Twin Leaf at some point that will make making content so much easier for a lot of people that like to do gameplay videos. And so I think we're going to see an uptick, and I'm excited to see kind of all these awesome people making stuff. And like Batsquid said, just hit upload. That's all it's about. But yeah. Thanks for listening, Batsquid. Thank you so much for being on for the second time. It was great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah. And that's it. So thank you all for tuning in to the Let Loose podcast.